Welcome to episode 1 of my Call of Duty World War II Mythbusters. Now normally in this series, I'll be taking questions asked in the comments section, putting them to the test with some research, and either confirming or denying them with some proof. However, since this is the first episode, I selected all the questions myself for this one. So let's get right into the first question. Can you get a one-hit melee kill from any direction with the Molotov score streak? Now when it comes to melee kills in World War II, the infantry division's bayonet is the only way to achieve a one-hit kill from any direction. If you use a normal melee, only from the back can you get a one-hit kill. From the side or from the front, it'll take 2 hits. Now as everyone should know by now, the Molotov in this game is a 300-point score streak and not a lethal item. Most people wouldn't think to melee with this streak to begin with, as the entire purpose of it is to chuck it in someone's face and watch them burn. Or I suppose to block off access to an area with a Harry Potter-like wall of fire. However, if you feel the need to smack someone upside their head with a flaming bottle, it's definitely possible. The best part about this is, the bottle doesn't explode and you won't lose it. Knowing that a melee is possible with the Molotov can increase its potential quite a bit. Essentially, you now have a close-range weapon as well as a mid to long-range weapon. And remember, you're pretty much defenseless with it out since it puts your weapon away completely. So yes, it's confirmed that the Molotov melee is a one-hit kill from any direction. The next question is in regard to a popular assault rifle. Will equipping extended mags on the M1 Garand remove the ping reload noise? Now I'm sure everyone's heard that incredibly loud reload ping from the M1 Garand at one point or another. But until you encounter a full party of teammates with the hustle basic training skill shooting one bullet and reloading this every 2 seconds, you haven't really suffered. So when you level up the weapon to 11, you'll unlock the extended mags attachment. Equipping this raises the starting ammo from 8 bullets to 12. In addition, the reload animation now involves a clip on the bottom of the weapon, as opposed to the standard M1 Garand reload. With this, the metallic ping is completely removed. So this is confirmed. Equipping the extended mags attachment will completely remove the ping noise when you reload. Next up, will stacking the recon aircraft score streak give you any benefit? If you're a sub of mine, you'll know the answer to this one already. I recently did a video covering this topic on its own, but I realized not everyone would have seen it. So in this game, you can receive 2 benefits from calling in more than one recon plane. A single plane will last for 30 seconds and do a sweep every 4 for a total of 8 sweeps. If you or a teammate have 2 planes up at the same time, it'll sweep every 2 seconds instead of 4, giving you a maximum of 16 sweeps. And this is the first stackable benefit. The second benefit comes when you have 3 recon planes in the sky at the same time. Not only does this still grant you the 2-second sweeps, but you're also treated to an advanced UAV effect. You'll now be able to see the direction of your enemies, which is incredibly helpful. Now take note that it's not in real time like an orbital VSAT would be, so it still can be a bit misleading even if you can tell which way your enemy is facing. So this one is definitely confirmed. Stacking 2 or 3 recon planes gives you a souped up scan. The next question is, can you reload cancel your weapon using a planted MG42 nest? This is something I accidentally stumbled upon. I'm a big fan of the MG42 nest. Not only do they offer you a bonus of 25 points to whatever the kill totals are for the game mode you're in, but they're also incredibly powerful. So when you're standing next to a nest, it'll prompt you to hold the square button or the Xbox equivalent to use it. Now if you hit the reload button on your weapon and then immediately mount the MG42 nest, your gun will reload behind the scenes. What I mean by this is, the moment you hop off the nest, your gun will be fully reloaded. This could be incredibly useful for weapons that have massive reload times such as LMGs. If you see a nest nearby, hit the reload button on your weapon, join the MG42 nest, and then hop off it. Your gun will now be fully reloaded and ready to go. So this one is also confirmed. It's possible to reload your weapon using an MG42 nest. Next up, does swapping to your pistol make you run faster? And this is actually a great question. In some Call of Duty games, movement speeds are dependent upon the weapon you're holding. For example, holding an LMG will make you run noticeably slower than holding a pistol. However, in some games, there's absolutely no difference. I myself normally swap to my pistol at the start of every match in World War II, but I never actually tested to see if it helped out or not. So I made a little obstacle course and timed it myself. The first race was using the M1 Garand. I measured from the start of the sprint until my character stopped the original sprint. And if you weren't aware or you haven't played the game yet, there's no way to achieve unlimited sprint in this game. So the total time was 4.15 seconds. Next, I swapped to my pistol and positioned myself in the exact same spot and repeated the test. Much to my surprise, the sprint animation ended at the exact same time of 4.15 seconds. So this one is busted. Swapping to your pistol does not make you run faster in this game. Next, we have a care package question. Does shooting the care package parachute cause it to drop faster? I've seen a lot of people doing this in their videos, but does it really help, or is it just a placebo effect? This is actually a tough one to test due to a few reasons. It's virtually impossible to throw down the care package marker in the exact same spot multiple times. As such, your care package could land on level ground, uneven ground, or even on an elevated object. All these things could affect the time it takes to drop. So what I did was call in multiple care packages on what I deemed to be similar surfaces. Then I averaged all the times out. For example, I called in 30 care packages on the map Gibraltar in the same area without shooting the parachute, and then I took the average time it took to drop. My measurement technique was from the moment the care package symbol on the bottom right disappeared to the moment the care package first contacts the ground. Out of all 30 attempts without shooting the parachute, the average was 13.467 seconds. Then I repeated the same test 30 times, but this time while shooting the parachute, and I tried to shoot it at roughly the same time the moment I saw it open. The average for this was 11.989 seconds. If we do a bit of rounding here, that comes out to an average of 1.5 seconds quicker. The question is though, is it worth it? Unless you're using the airborne division, you won't have a suppressed weapon, and it takes at least a few bullets to shoot the parachute down. This means you'll be painting a target on the minimap exactly where your package is landing. If you think the 1.5 seconds is worth the risk of exposing yourself and wasting some ammo, then this could be handy. The end result, of course, is that this is confirmed, although not by much. Now the last question for this episode is it possible to fire an MG42 nest indefinitely? So I've noticed a lot of people completely ignore the planted MG42s scattered throughout the maps in this game. In some game modes, such as Hardpoint, they're often found in some of the rotations, or overlooking them, which can make for very powerful attacking or defensive strategies. If you've ever hopped on one and just held down the trigger, you may find yourself a bit disappointed. They tend to overheat incredibly fast, leaving you a sitting duck momentarily. However, if you tap fire the MG42 while mounted, you can shoot indefinitely or until you're killed. The fact that this weapon is powerful to begin with only makes this much more desirable. Even though you're reducing the fire rate by tap firing, it's still a shredding machine. So this one is actually plausible. While it is possible to overheat an MG42 nest, it's also possible to fire it indefinitely until you either get off it yourself or you're killed. So that wraps up the first episode of my Call of Duty World War II Mythbusters. Let me know in the comments if you learned anything new from this video or which one was your favorite. If you have any questions you want me to test for the next Mythbusters episode, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'm sure once the game officially releases, there'll be tons of things you guys want me to test. And remember, failure is always an option on Mythbusters.